Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jane. If you're joining me for the very first time, I do videos about traveling opportunities to the United States of America. I specify on family preference and diversity visa lottery cases. So if this is your very first time and you intend to be watching me continuously, please subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe, turn on the notification bell icon so each time I upload a video, you will be notified. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the long processing times for categories F2A and F4. Now, if you're not aware of what F2A and F4 categories are, then I'll be breaking it down for you. F2A is family preference. It's a type of family preference visa where it is filed by a lawful permanent resident living in the United States of America. The beneficiaries are spouses and minor children of these lawful permanent residents. F4 category is a category still from the family preference visa where the petitioner, that's the person sending in the application to USCIS, is a US citizen and the beneficiary is the US citizen sibling. These two categories are the categories that are taking very long time for the processing times to go through, starting from the USCIS down to the National Visa Center and then subsequently the embassies, the foreign states of chargeability, which are the embassies. Now, one of the reasons why these two categories take a very long time for them to be processed, and these principal applicants, that's the beneficiaries, get to obtain a visa to travel to the United States of America. Now, if you want to get to know these reasons, then stick around. Welcome and welcome once more. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, like and share. I'm trying to get 4,000 subscribers and it's been pretty hard because a lot of people, when they watch, they just leave without subscribing. Please, if you're watching, help me get to 4,000 subscribers. You can share the video to families and friends, those who intend to get information about family preference visas to the United States of America. Now, what are some of the reasons why F4 and F2A categories take a very long time in processing? You remember that the United States of America has a way of balancing up the number of immigrants that enters the country every year. If we look at the diversity visa lottery, it is stated that 55,000 people are eligible to win the diversity visa lottery and then move to the United States of America the subsequent year. If you look at other various categories, work EB2, EB1, the Indian visas, there is a certain number of workers who have to come every fiscal year. Now, when these numbers have been allocated, the quota can be passed. Now, if a certain visa category has been processed all through the fiscal year and then there is a remainder, it will be transferred to an eligible category that is that could accept those remaining visas. Now, when you come to the case of the family preferences, the visas that are usually available are those for the F1, F2, F3, and F4. F2A is divided into two categories. F2 is divided into two categories, F2A and F2B. Now, F2A gets to get the more of the visas that are available for this category of F2, while F2B gets lesser number. Now, let's go down to the main reason why F2A in particular takes a longer processing time. Now, when there is this quota that the United States and Immigration Service has set alongside the Department of State for every category and number of applicants to move to the United States of America, these numbers are restricted and it goes down to something they call the availability of visa number, where they will be issuing visa with respect to the priority date. If you're not sure what the priority date is, the priority date is the date when your case was filed at the USCIS. So let's say your petitioner or the person in the United States sent an application for you on January 2023. So your priority date is January 2023. Now, looking at the F2A category, if you have a priority date that is not yet current on something they call the visa bulletin, then you would have to wait for your date to be current for you to have an available visa number for your visa to be processed, and then you move to the United States of America. As we speak right now, the availability of F2A numbers every fiscal year is 79,000, 79 and some numbers, just over 79,000. So only 79,000 people are eligible to come to the United States of America as beneficiaries of lawful permanent residence every year. The allocated number for F2A is over 114,000 every year. Now, this 114,000 is divided into F2A and F2B. But like I said earlier on, F2A gets the about 77% of the 114,000. So this is why it goes down to 79 over 79,000 for F2A. And then the remaining 23%, 79,000 is about 77%, sorry. And then the remaining 23% goes to the F2B. F2B, which takes a far longer time than F2A to be processed. Now, looking at the fact that these numbers are very limited, the USCIS and the National Visa Center take a longer time to make this availability of visa numbers. According to what is seen, if these visa numbers become available with such limited amount of immigrant visas, then these principal applicants will not be getting visas to travel to the United States of America, which is something very disturbing because looking at the fact that lawful permanent residents file in their cases and then it takes a long time for it to be accepted, the USCIS transferred to the National Visa Center, processing, submitting of required documentation, financial and civil documents, and then going down to the waiting time for the case to be transferred to the embassies, and then going down to wait for to get interviewed. And then these principal applicants don't get available visa numbers. I think they would have, in my opinion, it would have been okay for the same number of immigrants that come for US citizens beneficiaries should equally be the same for lawful permanent residents beneficiaries, because I really don't get to see the difference. But then we can't say much because that's how United States of America regulates the amount of the number of immigrants that come into the United States every year. So going back to the number I said earlier on, 77% goes to F2A, 23% goes to F2B. The 77% brings it down to 79,000 people, to over 79,000 immigrants for F2A every year, and then over about 27,000 for F2B every year. So just imagine only 79,000 immigrants are supposed to come per category. So you can imagine how long it will take for these priority dates to become current on that visa bulletin. So this is one of the major reasons why F2A takes a very long time for it to be processed. Looking at the F4, F4 is the siblings of US citizens. Now, F4 has the limited amount of visa availability every year. F4 has 65,000, so it's basically like a diversity visa lottery. There are 65,000 available visas for beneficiaries of F4 every year. Only 65,000 worldwide. Just imagine the number of countries that are eligible to apply and bring their loved ones using the F4 category worldwide, and there's just 65,000 visas available. And that is one of the reasons why F4 takes such an enormous number of years for the category to be processed onto the embassy level. These two main reasons actually is one of the things put up. If you get to search, you go through the websites of the USCIS, the NBC, you would get to see these numbers. I'll be putting a link in the description box below so you can go further and read more about what I'm talking about in this video. So thank you very much for watching, and if you like this video, please remember to subscribe, like and share, and I will be seeing you in my next one to talk about other visa categories and maybe backlogs or the reasons why some processing times are taking longer. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.